Starting.
Yes, welcome to the Vanguard Show on podcast. I am here with Brother Malik Rahim of the New Orleans chapter of the Black Panther Party, co-founder of Common Ground here in New Orleans. We're on site in New Orleans. He's a historian and really a New Orleans and Louisiana treasure. I call it, brother. And I first met you when we were in Oakland at the 50th anniversary on the steps of Alameda County.
All right.
And you gave me a big hug. I didn't know if you even knew who I was, but I knew who you were.
Oh,
And again, thank you for sitting down talking with us.
man, it's an honor.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor as well. And tell us what's going on this weekend.
Well, what is happening? We are celebrating the 57th anniversary of the Black Panther Party. It's the 53rd anniversary of the Louisiana chapter, but it's the 57th of our of the national. 57 years ago, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seals came together and formed the Black Panther Party. And that's what we are celebrating. We're celebrating the Panther legacy. And at the same time that we are celebrating its rich history, we are also working to dispel the myth in Louisiana of the Black Panther Party. In Louisiana, or Louisiana, what I call it.
Okay, all right.
We have the Panther Party as being what they call Black Pantherism.
Right.
That we is a racist organization that was created to kill all white folks, and that we needed to be stumped out. And ever since then, that has been the policy of Louisiana, the criminalization of the party. So we want people to know at this celebration the good that the party have done. When we had our shootout, it was a 20-minute shoot-in.
Okay.
Because you had over 100 police with long guns shooting in the wooden structure. And they shot at us for 20 minutes.
This is in the Desire or
In the Desire.
Desire, right.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say just to get backtrack a little bit. How did you? First of all, how did you grow up? Because I know you're from Algiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that area. And how did you grow up? And then how did you get knowledge on the Black Panther Party at all?
Well, the community that I came up in, you call Algiers, it was once known as Freetown.
Free African.
My grandfather, who was a World War I veteran, but he was a lieutenant in the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Yeah. So I came up in a community of Galvanites and Maroons.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we had a double portion.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
And, my grandmother, not only was she a follower of Marcus Garvey, but she was also a follower of Bishop Henry Turner.
And Henry McNeil Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I
African
grew up.
Methodist Church, right? African
Yeah.
Methodist Church, right?
Oh yeah, so I grew up with that spirit, that aroma
Oh, okay, all right.
of civic responsibility, based upon being rooted in our culture. So,
And then when did you first hear about Huey and Bobby forming the party, or what year did you actually join? Was it a year or two after?
I joined in 1970.
Oh, well, okay, all right.
Way up in 1970.
All right.
But I first heard about the party in 66.
Okay.
Because when they formed the party was shortly after the riots had happened in L.A.
Right. That was
I
Watts
was
Riot,
I was in the service when the Watts riots happened, when the Magnificent Montague came on KGFJ. You dig and saying, well, LA is on fire, burn, baby, burn. You dig? So that's when I found out about the party. I mean, that's when my conscience started growing. Because I was in boot camp when the Honorable Malcolm X was killed. You know? So I had that history when Vietnam learned that that Vietnamese, that the proper name of them for those people wasn't Gooks, because that's all they referred to them as Gooks.
Right. U.S. propaganda.
Yeah. And it took the brother to put me on the side and say, man, listen, every time you saying Gooks, that's like them calling us niggas.
Right.
So don't degrade nobody else. So with that, after I got out of the service, I stayed in L.A. and I was on what was that, Broadway and 73rd Street in L.A.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
And I met my first wife. She was going to Fremont High School.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
So
where you with LA?
I went to started going to Fremont with her, and I was blessed to meet Ron Karenga.
Oh wow, yeah. My
He was formulating us,
right.
and he was putting together Quantum.
Okay, yeah.
So I was seeing the greatness of it, because at that time, us and the Panther Party was in the same building.
That's right, at UCLA, right?
Yeah. So again, I watched that grow. But I didn't stay in California, because then you had to be 21 to go into a nightclub.
Okay.
You dig? Now here I done been to Vietnam, everywhere else, doing whatever I
Whatever
want.
you want.
And now you're gonna tell me I got a restriction? So I left and went back to New Orleans.
Okay.
But I told Geronimo, who was from Louisiana, in Morgan City, and I had met while I was there, that if, they started anything in Louisiana, or Louisiana, I'll be there.
Okay.
As soon as I found out that brother was organizing in New Orleans, I went. My wife and I, we joined as a family.
Okay.
But I had 2 kids. We was the first family to join the Louisiana chapter of the Black Panther Party.
Okay. I had the honor to meet Sister Francois when she came out to it was Charles Boko Freeman. I know you knew him, and Billy Yak had a event that I was helping with in Atlanta, and I got to meet for the first time Sister Francois. Tell us about some of your comrades in the chapter.
Well, you talk about one of the greatest ones. Because after the first shootout, many individuals that said that they was going to be there for the reopen the office and make sure that everything continued, they disappeared. Some of them we ain't seen for 30 years. The sister Aldia, and another sister that you'll meet to see probably at Dillard, Betty Toussaint.
Okay. All right.
They opened up the office. They went in the office after the police finally got through rampaging and tearing everything up. They went in there, and the residents of public housing, the brothers and sisters from public housing, they brought us into the project. We was in a house right adjacent to the project. They brought us into the project and helped us take abandoned building and turned it into the office. They cleaned it up and made it our second office. So I tell everyone that we had 2 national committee to combat fascism. We had the first that was started by a brother named Steve Green and Ryan Ellsworth, and then we had the second one that was started by Aldia Francois and Betty Powell, and they was a part of the second one. And from the time of the first shootout, where the police, they came on us in a big old armored car. A month later, the city of New Orleans said that it was broke. They didn't have no money for social upliftment program, but they came up with enough money to buy a tank. So they came to attack our office with a tank and put us out, staying in abandoned buildings. But the community surrounded our office.
Check your shield.
Oh yeah, and wouldn't let them come in. You know, I used always said like the wildebeest at the water hole, but not the wildebeest ain't running from the line.
There it is.
They get them turned around the line, facing all these homes, and they don't know what to do because they're only used to attacking a wildebeest from behind. You dig? So now they're not showing they behind. So now what you gonna do? So again, we looked at that, and so they couldn't come in. So what they done, they borrowed some priest uniforms from Loyola University, and they came and dressed as priests on Thanksgiving morning and raided the office, and that's when Betty Toussaint was shot. That was the only member of the party down here to be wounded as a member.
And tell me more about Common Ground, because you're one of the co-founders. Common Ground, and then Katrina, because you had such a visible presence during the Katrina, in terms of people going through genocide with the police and other residents that would shoot at them as they tried to seek refuge.
Well, first I want to say that it wouldn't have been a Common Ground if it wouldn't have been an Angola 3 support committee. And it wouldn't have been an Angola 3 support committee if it wouldn't have been a Black Panther Party. So I got to go all the way to the roots, because you never seen a plant flourish without any roots.
That's right.
So you got to go to the roots. That's why we are here. We want people to know our history. And the history of it is that when we was founding Common Ground, everything we did was based upon the principles that I was taught as a member of the Black Panther Party. I was blessed to be the OD. I didn't think that I would ever use those type of experience again in life.
Okay.
But when Katrina happened, that's what I had to rely upon, the teachings of the Black Panther Party. That's the reason why we did a multitude of things, because with the party, we wasn't about just sitting there being armchair revolutionists. It was all about establishing programming, meeting the needs of the community.
Carrying theory into practice.
That's right.
That was right.
So again, in the aftermath of Katrina, we did our need assessment. And once we completed our need assessment, then we started moving on addressing those needs. So we started our health clinics. But shortly after we formed Common Ground Relief, maybe 2 weeks later, we formed Common Ground Health Clinic to meet the needs of the people, because that was a pressing need. Nobody know or truly understand that didn't experience the aftermath of Katrina, how important healthcare was. But once we seen how it was, how you cannot survive in 105-degree weather without the basics.
Yeah.
So again, that's what we moved on. We moved on establishing a health clinic. We had our distribution center. Then we opened up our wetland restoration and our soil remediation program. Then we started doing roofing and gutting out houses and moving on. And by the time I was finally kicked out of Common Ground, all right, we had served over 500,000 people in a multitude of services. But again, just like what happened in the party, it happened in the aftermath of Katrina. I call it COINTELPRO Katrina style.
Right. The counterintelligence program.
Oh yes, it came in and it destroyed everything that Common Ground was based upon, simply because of the fact it was founded by two members of the party. So again, these are the things that they did to us. They, I guess, when you look at I don't even want to give him honor by calling his name.
Call from Aaron Dixon.
Oh, that's